I think there is no column. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Platformers live stream. We got here with us Guillermo Vigil, a platform engineer at BNVK. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Fine, really thank you for having me here, guy.
Thank you for coming. Uh, I just want to say one thing for the audience while we are running the stream. Um, it's going to be a really amazing stream, and I'm going to present it in 1 second. If you have any questions, something that you would like to ask, something that you would like to see, you can always post anything on the comments. It can be on LinkedIn, on YouTube, whatever you're watching the live stream, and based on that, we will answer. Um, and today we are going to hear about from Gile, the veteran of platform engineering, a lot of the lesson you learn and a lot of the key aspects of how you build or craft your perfect platform. So thank you very much for coming and being with us.
Thank you, guy. Thank you for the platformers community. I think this is a great show for everyone to get involved into platform engineering. So thank you very much for having me here. For today, I'm going to share a little bit about my experience and like the journey to crafting or trying to craft the perfect platform. But I'm gonna say an spoiler. This is not the perfect platform, I guess, but it is a try. So I'm gonna like share with you side project that I'm working on for the last months, which is called Resizes. So my name is Guille. I'm part of BVNK, which is a company working in fintech space. I'm a platform engineer, and I'm also a CNCF Kubestronaut. And you can find me in LinkedIn or GitHub or in my webpage. So for the session that today we have, I'm gonna demo in something. So for this demo, I'm gonna run a GitHub action to spin up an entire IDP. Before continuing with the slides, I'm gonna run this script or this GitHub action, so we can spin up the IDP and then come back after 20 minutes or so, maybe less, because we are going to spin up a new entire Kubernetes cluster and all the tools that are integrated into the IDP. So I can run like the plan before with Terraform to check which resources are going to be created.
Yeah,
And
can you
then,
just increase the size a little bit so we will be able to see?
sure. Maybe like
Oh,
this.
that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah,
Okay.
now we can see the runs.
Okay, so with this, I'm running with Terraform and the GitHub Action plan for the Terraform resources that we are going to create, the VPCs, all the network resources, the cluster, some IAM resources. So if we refresh here, we can check that there are like 108, I think. Yes, resources to be created. So I'm going to create these resources. For that, I'm going to go back to the GitHub Action and change the command here and say apply. Okay, so we are gonna stay like waiting for this and then coming back to the status of this GitHub Action.
Amazing.
So
it's so
coming back
amazing
to the
that you have
slides.
everything. It's so amazing that you have everything ready just to be deployed.
Yes, exactly. This is the actual thing, the actual thing of having the IDP, building everything from scratch, with just one click, which is triggering the GitHub Action. So coming back to the slides, I'm gonna like give you a bit of context of my professional background. I started like 9 years ago or so as internship as Java developer in a company. And then I transitioned to a front-end position with Angular. But after that, my boss requested me to move a bit from development to the dark side. So I started to create pipelines in Jenkins, and I started to create. So at that time, I think nobody understand that this was platform engineering. But for me now, nowadays, I think that time is platform engineering. I mean, when I created something like pipelines for my developer teammates and all the infrastructure, I was like doing platform engineering because I gave them the tools and the processes to make them their lives easier. So they just need to commit and push and test their code and forget. So then I started in another company to build platforms on top of Kubernetes. So I just realized that the platform engineering thing became something like more real, like something really useful for everybody. So I built the platform on top of Kubernetes and AWS and GCP with cloud native tools during like 3 years or so, and then we iterated on the platform. So the thing is that when I was like doing just Terraform and pipelines in Jenkins, for me nowadays I think that was platform engineering as well. So some personal thoughts about platform engineering is that everyone or every company is building a platform, even if they don't know what they are building. So what platform should look like? I think this is like a good example. Everyone would like to live in this house, but many companies are building instead this house, right, as a platform, because they are like not having enough resources or not having the knowledge about how to build it really well, but they are doing it even if they don't know what are they doing. So I think that the important part of this is that it doesn't matter what people is using, which tools are using to build this platform. The goal should be the same. In this case, it doesn't matter if you have a straw house or a stone house. You need to live somewhere. So you're going to focus on methodologies and the philosophy to build this platform and live there. So in case that you need to choose, for example, for straw or stone, it depends on the weather, or it depends on, I don't know, the animals or whatever you need to be careful. But the goal is the same. You need to build a house and live there.
It's
So
amazing. It's amazing that you're saying that, because some people do not understand that they have a platform today and they have their house today and they need to support their own requirements, even if they're working in a small company. And it's so important that you highlighted this point.
exactly. So I think everyone is building a platform, even if you are just a company with 5 developers or 2 developers, you are building a platform. You are like starting from something small and you are going to go wherever you go, but you are building a platform. So that's something important that everyone should take care of it. So some other personal thoughts about this is that what really makes the difference is the methodologies, the practices, how you design this platform. So I'm seeing some problems that we need to have into considerations for future. For example, many people is trying to fix something quick. There is a business requirement and you need to fix something quick. But this fix sometimes becomes something hard to fix for tomorrow. So I think it's really useful to just take into the consideration the future. So uh, try to do things thinking into the future, not patching and run, and that's it. Another thing that it's really important for me, I think, is the way that you are building a platform, because your customers are the actual developer teams inside the company. So this is like really important, because think of any developer team or any company building a product, but you as a platform developer, as a platform engineer, you are going to give them to those teams the platform. So those teams are going to be your customers. This is important as well. And of course, you need to evangelize tooling with the proper audience. For example, if you are installing a tool for backend developers, you don't even need to evangelize this tool for front-end developers, but you need to choose the right audience for each tool to save time and to get people involved into what you are building. Of course, you need to research on the latest technologies, trends, tools that the cloud native ecosystem is having. Each week, each month, many people is creating or upgrading or improving their tools. So you need to be up to date with that, and also perform POCs with the tool that you are trying, with the tool that you have, and you are going to improve the platform doing that. So some key methodologies that I think that are really important is like you build, you run it. This privilege principle, CF-led, file fast. So all of these methodologies are really important to make the platform really good. If you are trying to follow these methodologies, you are going to succeed. That's something that I learned with the years of experience that I have. And I think for the most important methodology that we have here is make it keep it simple, because sometimes people is having a problem and you realize that maybe you can solve this problem trying your own solution, but quite often, or maybe most times, the solution is already on the internet or on the other tool that already exists. So don't try to reinvent the wheel. Keep it simple. Would be something really useful for your platform. Also, something really important is that everything is an abstraction, right? So, for example, taking into account Kubernetes is just an abstraction of what managing virtual machines and networking and volumes and many important things into the cloud. So with Kubernetes, you can use this abstraction to like forget about what is underlying. And also you can build abstractions on top of another abstractions. So this is what really makes a platform engineer a really good engineer, because you need to like build something on top of another abstraction and make the life simpler for everyone in the company. So
I think that one of the most interesting thing that if you combine all of those together is like being like one small startup within a company. Like you need to be customer obsessed, as you say in the previous slide. You need to do a lot of things that will help you to fail fast. But on the other side, you need to build something that would be robust and will abstract those technologies for other people within a company. How do you see that? Like, what do you think like would be the thing that most people fail with? Is it the technology or the non-tech, as you saw in the previous slide, like the more state of mind?
I think it's the state of mind. I mean, the way of thinking. People start like thinking that they are doing the best with tooling, but they are not doing the best with methodologies, or they are not following the key best practices for building a platform. So for me, I think the way is not choosing the tool that you need, because each use case would be different for each company, is just to have in mind all the methodologies and the philosophy of building the platform, which I think would be something easier if are going to be standard for every platform. So I'm
By the
gonna
way,
share yeah.
we have some question from the audience just before you move forward. So we have question from the audience. Space Cadet asks, what is something that I should be worried before starting out?
Okay, so I think the most worried thing of starting is like trying to repeat or bring your errors or your legacy code or your legacy practices into the new platform. So instead of trying to like come with all of that, just like start from the beginning, from scratch if nothing is happening. So you can like rethink or redesign what you have and think about the errors that you had in the past and trying to not doing it again in the future. So regarding some past speaks that I have, previously in my current company, I had some travels in the past months, which, for example, I'm gonna share an example. I was on an on-call rota like a couple of months ago, and someone woke me up because at the night at 3 a.m. or so, because something was broken in production, right? So I wake up and I tried to fix the problem, and I had the knowledge of fixing the problem, right? But when I tried to do it, when I tried to fix the problem, I realized that I don't have permissions to do it. I don't have permissions to solve the problem. So I had to wake up another guy, my boss, so he would be able to solve the problem. So 3 different people were like waking up at night to solve this problem. So I think deny access to several production environments or some specific secrets are something that is obviously right, the good, the right thing. But if you deny all the access for everything, for having the improving the security, I think that's not something would be easier. I mean, it's like something would block. It's like a bottleneck, right? So another bad past experience is like sharing resources between environments. I think that it's important to keep it simple, and instead of reusing the same database for both environments, I guess, for example, staging and test environments, um, I know that many companies are worried about cloud costs, but if someone is making a mess in the database in some environment, the other environment is going to be down again, as well, right? So the thing here is that maybe you are saving cost in the cloud resources, but the time that the guy is solving the problem, and not just the platform or the DevOps engineer solving the problem, is also the developers not having time or not or waiting for the fix to become. That time is also costly for the company. So I think that sharing resources between environments is not something good. And also, many people is trying to start developing instead of locally in an environment in the cloud, which I think is not a good option neither, because you are, of course, wasting a lot of resources in the cloud, and you need to, if you are using containers, you can replicate your behavior in your local machine. So I don't like the idea of having the focus of having shared environments for developing. You need as well to focus on tools and not needs. I mean, maybe you are using a tool, but you don't need to, I don't know, um, let's say you need to focus on a specific tool, but you don't need to have the actual needs of the company being on that tool. You can like compare both tools in case you are like deciding on which tool to use, but you don't need to focus on just the tool because you need a specific need of the tool. You need to compare both and perform POCs. I don't know if I'm explaining well on this.
Yeah, I think you explained it amazing. I think you explained it amazing. Like we see so many people, like when you ask them about technology and what it actually solves you, um, you get one answer about the tool they're using and another complete answer about what they try to achieve with the tool.
Mhm,
And that's amazing because the, some people think that deploying a technology is cool, and obviously it's cool, like it's new stuff to play with. But on the other side, you pay a lot. You pay a lot of resources, your own resources, your other team member
mhm,
resources. And if you don't know to define what have you brought the tool in, it doesn't make any sense to invest the resources in technology. I think you said it completely right. W- w- and when you focus about perfecting the tools that you have with the right needs, that makes it fit in.
mhm. Exactly. And
So
another problem, yeah. So something else that you want to
no,
say?
no, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry. So another problem that or past experience that I have is that companies or the C-level just want to provide features of their product, so focus on their business goals. But as I said previously, you need to think of the future. So if you are going to do something really quick because you need to release a new feature, it's completely fine. But you need to think as well to meet the best experience that you're going to have in the future. Otherwise, be you're going to be in a mess in the future, which is not the best option. So not think only in business goals, just focus on fixing things for the future. Um, so I have more bad experience, but I think I'm gonna uh, go next because the time. Um, so what I think is worth it, getting feedback from developers and not just from the developers, from managers, from everyone in the company about the platform that you are building, creating surveys and workshops and gather the feedback that they have for the platform. Try to break the ticketing system because sometimes DevOps engineer or platform engineering is like just receiving tickets from a developer. I need a new database, so look at this ticket. Or hey, I need to fix this pipeline because it's not working. Look at this ticket. So sometimes people is like just resolving tickets, so it doesn't have they don't have the enough time to think about the platform and which gives the next point, which is plan the roadmap for the product that you're building, which is the platform. So we need to plan this roadmap carefully. And if someone needs, I don't know, tracing in the platform, maybe you need to think that spend 1 month or two or whatever you need for planning this into the roadmap and try different tools and different um, use cases so you can have the best option in your platform. And again, you need to abstract everything you could because you need to give the best developer experience for everyone. So something that I want to
By the
explain, yeah, sorry.
by the way, for people, if you're watching this stream and you're even considering building a platform, like you are in before day zero, we call it day -1 for building a platform. This is a slide that you need to take a screenshot of because it gives you the elements of what you need to do even before you start. So you need to get feedback about your ideas and plan the roadmap, even if you haven't started to have like the platform project. So you have a platform, but it's not the project that you call it to. Just tip for the people watching. By the way, if you're watching the stream and you have questions, feel free to comment and we will post it in here. So yeah, you can go ahead.
Perfect. So another important thing is that you need to focus on local hosts first. I mean, if you are developing something, try to develop this locally and then move to the cloud, because you can have Docker installed in your laptop and you can develop your microservice in your laptop, and then you can think of deploying it into an environment in the cloud. In this example, for example, you can have a front-end application and a backend application with a couple of databases. You can easily run this locally with just the commands for their languages, or with Docker or with Docker Compose. And then when everything is well defined and is working locally, you can deploy it to the cloud. And security is also important. For the demo that we are having after this. I'm building an IDP very opinionated with AWS and GitHub. And for that, I'm using OIDC, which grants access from GitHub Actions, for example, to AWS using a role which has an expiring duration for this role. So you can assume this role from the GitHub Action, which is something better than having, for example, the access keys in the GitHub Actions. And I'm also using the external secrets operator because, as you may know, secrets in Kubernetes are not as secrets that you may think, because secrets are encoded nor encrypted. So for solving that, we are using the external secret operator for this demo. So we are having in the secrets manager the secrets, and you can get those secrets using the external secrets operator with an Argo CD getting a manifest for the external secret, which is a point on the external secrets operator for the secrets manager. So this is like another example of the desired approach. And a desired approach in the ideal world, someone is developing a microservice locally, and then it commits the changes. So after committing, the microservice is going to be deployed as a Docker image or as a Helm chart if you changed also the manifest inside the Helm chart templating to a container registry like ECR. And then you have in another repository the configuration of the cluster where Argo is looking for, and the platform, the ITP, would be like the cluster running with Kubernetes, and all pieces involved that we allow us, the developer, is just committing and then accessing to the actual state of the deployment into an ingress, or monitoring something in Grafana, for example. But the developer just need to be worried about two things, which are like the actual status of the application deployed and the code that they're changing. So this is the ideal world. It's hard to be here, but it's the goal, the final goal. And you need as well to define responsibilities, because for this IDP that I'm going to demo in later, I have several repositories. In this case, this is like an IDP based on at least 3 environments, maybe more, and a shared environment or a shared cluster where you have installed some tools for the IDP which are shared but not installed in the other clusters for applications. And you have like configuration or Terraform files for creating infrastructure. So the platform engineering team should be responsible of this repository and also for the shared repository. and also is responsible for the underlying architecture or infrastructure for the Kubernetes clusters in the environment clusters. But the developer teams should be as well responsible of the applications running in their clusters. So they are like responsible for the microservice code and all the files involved in that process, and as well into the clusters that they own. This, I think, is important as well.
It's really important that you mentioned the responsibility model between the differences, because some people tend to don't understand, like, is what do I responsible for, what do I get from my platform team, and should we um why should we, what should we, like, be the line, be the border between
Mm-hmm.
those. How do you see, like, the Kubernetes cluster and the CD tools come into this process, like Kubernetes and Algo, which is kind of in between them?
Yes. So we are going to see in the demo later how we spin up everything. But for me, the Kubernetes and the tooling inside each Kubernetes cluster is responsibility of the platform engineering team. And for the developer teams, they are responsible for having monitored all their applications running in the clusters, in the application clusters. And also the pipelines in an ideal world, in a very mature company with an IDP, they should be able to, like, the owners of the Helm charts and the pipelines and the infrastructure as code that they define. So for the demo, I'm gonna show you a very opinionated internal developer platform. Is built on top of agnostic or not vendor locking tools, which are Kubernetes and other open source tools like Argo CD or external secrets operator. But I'm gonna demo in using AWS and GitHub because it's very opinionated. My experience is based on this, and I know that this is working really well and ready for production environment. So we are like being demoing this for one environment, but it's replicable for other non-production environments. So this is like the demo picture for the demo. We have like the IDP repository, which is the one I shared with you before at the beginning, which
Can you
has
zoom in
the
a
like.
little bit? Can
Sure.
you just zoom in a little bit?
Yes.
I'll
Let
try
me.
also to change the setup. Maybe it will be.
Is yes. Instead of zooming in, is zooming out. I don't know why.
I think now it's better. Now it's better. Oh,
Now,
there you
right?
go.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay. So for this, I have like 3 different repositories. The IDP AWS repository is for the infrastructure as code, the actual automation of the set spin up of the entire IDP. And then we have like another repository, which is called Platform EKS Production, which is for the configuration of the cluster in production. And we have different applications inside the IDP in the cluster, which are, for example, the level controller, Argo CD apps, backstage, and monitoring stack also. So many tools that are useful for the IDP. And also we have some applications installed, like developer applications or microservices that are installed into the cluster, into the environment. For example, this demo API, which is written in Node.js, is deployed inside the cluster. Okay. So let's try to come back to the, yeah. So for the creation flow, just the GitHub action that I ran at the beginning, I just became someone starting the trigger of the GitHub action. And after the GitHub action is triggered, Terraform CLI is deploying things in AWS in an account. So we are installing an EKS cluster, some Fargate profiles for Carpenter. We are installing some VPCs, and we are installing AIM roles, S3 buckets, and secrets manager. So we are building, creating a lot of infrastructure. And then the same pipeline, the same GitHub Action, is installing some Helm charts. So it starts with installing the Carpenter Helm chart for managing nodes inside the cluster. And then it's installing the Argo CD Helm chart for managing the entire IDP. So after that, we are like just applying one file, which is the application set YAML that we have here. And after that, Argo CD is able to read the configuration of another repository with Helm charts and install those applications into the cluster. So this is made just in one step.
Wow,
Triggering the,
that's super impressive. Like the bootstrap and everything coming from AWS resources in cluster, let's call it middleware of all the components in the cluster, but also the application. Just super impressive to know that you run it in the background. All of the process is just showing in the diagram.
Yes, we are going to see more in detail later, but yeah, it's a bit impressive for me as well, to be honest. I finished this like this week, and I'm like, yeah, very happy to have this in place. And I'm thinking of doing the same for building an IDP on top of GCP instead of AWS, for example. But yeah, I'm going to show you later more in detail.
Maybe the next project.
Maybe. So let's take a look to what we have right now. Yes. So this is the GitHub Action that we run. Okay. So let me refresh here because probably So after the Terraform apply was triggered, everything was created. And if I go down, yes. So all the resources were applied. Okay. And then I'm assuming a role for getting access to the cluster, and I'm installing what I just said. The first, the Carpenter here, which is deployed here with Helm, and also I'm installing with Helm the Argo CD, okay, and applying the application set. So, well, I'm also creating a secret because we need this secret for Argo CD to be able to get the applications in the other repository. So right now I'm gonna check. I'm gonna let me know if it's bigger enough.
A little bit bigger would be better.
Yes, it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine. And
okay, so
never change the layout. Cool.
I'm gonna log in into AWS. So I need to run this, and I'm gonna get access to the Kubernetes cluster. So right now, if I'm doing the kubectl get po, I have here everything that I installed with the GitHub Action already running. So if we take a look to the, let me open the console in AWS.
So if you can clear your screen, we cannot see the bottom part. So
Sorry?
anytime you go to terminal, anytime you go to the terminal at some point, we cannot see it. So we can see only the top of your screen. Like.
Okay. Then I can clear. Sorry.
Yeah.
Perfect. So if I come to the AWS console and we take a look to the EKS part service, we have. Oh, I'm not in the right account. Sorry.
No worries.
So this is the right account. Here it comes. Okay. So if I'm going to the EKS service, we have here the production cluster, which is which was created 35 minutes ago at the beginning of this session. And we have some target profiles for Carpenter and for Cube system. So we have, if we take a look to the nodes, we have, in this case, 6 target nodes, which are for the Carpenter itself and for the Cube system. And we have just one node with every other application running in the cluster. So everything is fine, right? So we can check, if we want, all the ingresses that we have. And right now we have, for example, the Grafana ingress. So if I open the Grafana is running.
Wow.
And we can check, for example, that the IDP has some dashboards for the application, that I have. And as we started the IDP 35 minutes ago or so, we just saw metrics about this time. So another thing that I'm going to show you is the API, which is the DNS is not, or maybe we need to fix something because ArgoCD maybe is reconciling. Let's open ArgoCD, which is not working, but we can make a couple forward. So let's check if something is not reconciled as it should be. Perfect. Okay, so yes, we have something here which is failing, but we can fix it because probably the Nginx controller, yes, was created a little bit after the other components. So maybe if we sync it.
So you say that the sequence of the
yes.
creation of the ingress controller was a little bit after, so it failed to reconcile and then deploy. Okay,
exactly.
got it.
So I made this test like 3 times yesterday, and it worked really well 3 times. But for right now, it's not working as expected. But okay, so the ingress was created. So if I check the ingresses on the cluster, yes, we have already, but maybe the DNS, it's always DNS, is going to take a bit to appear. It's fine. The thing is that we are creating this IDP completely from scratch using the GitHub Action. So at this point, as we are using ArgoCD, we can, for example, create a change in the application that we develop, which is let me open it and say it here. Can you see it well?
Just a little bit more.
More?
But we can see the change. Yeah, and I think that, now it's better. That's amazing.
Okay. So I have here another endpoint, which is not deployed, which is for a hard-coded company's endpoint, okay? So if we go to the API, which is not working, because the ingress is not created, I guess, but we can like port forward to make it work. Service demo API, and it's in the 3000 port, I think. Oh, demo API minus.
Maybe namespace, yeah.
Yes, I guess so. And I'm not adding correct character here. Which is the port? Okay, so it's another port. Okay, so if we take a look to we can, in the meantime, fix the ingress. I remove the arrow for forward, and
I think
it's not working the DNS.
it's always the DNS, and I think the main idea is
Yes.
just with a really small fix, it would work perfectly. And the fact that everything's spin
Exactly.
up that way and integrated that way, that's completely not obvious, especially for people that actually see how long they worked to create their own platform, and maybe took them weeks or months to create what you just did in a GitHub action.
Exactly. So in my previous company, it took us like 2 years, 5 people building that. I mean, in that time, we didn't have the knowledge, but we were like building this in 2 years. So that's crazy that
Wow.
we can like making all the pieces coming together and make the glue happen. So we can like build the entire IDP for one environment in just 30 minutes. So after this, let me make the core forward. Need from different port, maybe.
Yeah.
So we can enter again because Argosity is not, it's always DNS.
Yeah. Go with the log. Yeah.
So if I'm going to the here, I can fix all the ingresses just syncing the application. Right here and also here. This is something that we need to improve because we can like reorder the way applications are installed. Maybe the Nginx controller should be the first application to be installed to avoid these problems. So yes, I think all of them are patched, I think. Yes, more or less. Okay, so yeah, it's not working yet, the DNS. Perfect. So what I want to share with you is that in the local host 5200, oops.
No, that was the remote one. The local one,
Yes,
you
yeah, it
connected it to
was
something
the
else.
exactly, not 8080. Yeah, here it is.
Oh, there you go.
So I have like an endpoint which is called companies, which is not working. And I have another one, which is documents, which is working. Okay, it's getting information from an SD bucket as an example. So what I'm gonna do is like create this endpoint using creating a new release on the application side. So I have this endpoint here, which I'm going to uncomment. There we go. No, it's not. What happened? What's going on? My circuit is not working. Maybe I changed something.
Oh, I always bad from switching to VS Code to PyCharm, which was my favorite one.
No, I don't know what's happening with my circuit. Maybe I misconfigured it before. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna do this quickly.
Manually.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if there is another option to uncomment this.
There is the shortcut. I don't remember it. Yeah.
Just a moment.
And you can also remove some of the IDs, by the way. It will be even easier.
Yes, let me do this for this ID. Okay, so I'm gonna do this and remove some of the other hard-coded ways. Yes, so this, for example, and I need to uncomment this as well. I don't understand what happened to my circuit.
Maybe because the screen sharing or something with that.
Okay, so we can remove this as well. Oh, what's happened? No, maybe the comma.
Oh yeah.
What's going on? I think I missed.
It's the
missing.
list. You need to
Yes.
close the list. Yeah, there you go.
And then another square. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I'm gonna just create a new tag for this change. So I'm gonna commit this. creating a new endpoint or company's endpoint. And I'm gonna push this to main. Okay, but the magic happens when I create a new tag. So the last tag created was the 109. So I'm gonna create a new tag, which is release 1010, and push this tag. So as developer, I'm finishing my work here because I release a new feature on my API, which is this new endpoint. If you have everything automated, you can come to the repository and take a look to the repository that is hosting your code. And we have configured a GitHub Action here that is going to build or install the dependencies, build the application, and create the Docker image, pushing that Docker image to ECR. And then we are like committing in the configuration cluster in Git to change that image uploaded to ECR. So the configuration repository, which is being reconciled by Argo CD, is going to take that change and deploy it to the cluster directly, automatically. So this is going to take like some minutes or seconds.
Yeah, I think what is really great in here is that there is also feedback for developers where they are in the process, what they should need to wait for, where it fails. So
Exactly.
something that people trying to build but they do not achieve that is how we can improve the developer experience, not by the tech, because the tech is there, by also providing them good feedback, enough dashboards so they don't need to sprawl between terminals, and they will see clearly exactly what happened, even though in here it's a dashboard with a terminal, but it's fine.
That's it, exactly the point. So this is finishing. After it finishes, we have Argo CD. Yeah, it's picking up the changes, I think. It's in progressing state. So let's wait. Yeah,
Oh,
it is the
yeah.
new version of the API, which is getting deployed. So when it finishes, I guess we can port forward again, because as we don't have the DNS ready yet, we can
Maybe by the end of the
port
demo it
forward
will
again.
work fine.
Yes, it's always happening. When we finish the demo, it's everything working without doing nothing. So yeah, if we take a look to the endpoint again, making the port forward, we have here the new endpoint app. So what else we have installed? Yeah, we have installed Backstage. Let me enter with another container here. So, and this DNS is working. It's strange, but we have Backstage deployed, and we had changed a little bit of the styles, but we have the catalog here, the APIs and the docs of this, and we can even create something from a template. But let's create or register something. Let's register the API that we just released with new version. We can import it and view it as a comment, as the component, and check the documentation. So we have installed as well in the IDP Backstage, which is really great, and makes me think if this is working.
That's absolutely amazing.
Thanks.
That's absolutely amazing.
What else we can check? Maybe we can check. Yes, we have deployed here as well on a WordPress application. So let's check if it works, and it's working, it seems. Yeah. So we have as well created the application with WordPress, and we can enter into the admin panel or whatever. So we have installed all the applications and all the applications inside the IDP, like Backstage, the Ingress controller, the monitoring stack, the portal, everything with just one GitHub Action. So for finishing, I'm gonna come back to the slides and think about the next steps of this idea of having the IDP created by just one GitHub Action. So after that, maybe we need to think of having just more than one environment, because for testing purposes, maybe we need to use the production environment for customers and having another environment for testing purposes. Then maybe we need to create a VPN for internal tooling, so we can just give access to the internal tooling to the actual users of the platform, which are the developer teams, which are your customers, right? Maybe you need to add some more security access for the tooling, for example, using SSO, or you can create, as I commented before, an entire cluster for just desired resources like Atlantis or the runners for GitHub Actions. Backstage can be moved there, or many other applications that are not required to have installed in each application environment. So as a conclusion for this session, I think that we need to invest all the resources that we think are going to be successful for building the best platform that every company needs. And this platform not should be the same as other platforms in other companies. You need to think carefully what your platform needs. So because you need to maintain that platform after that. It's not just creating the platform and that's it. No, you need to maintain it. So think carefully of the tools and invest the resources that you need to create and maintain that platform. And then you need to iterate over the platform capabilities. So you need to integrate, for example, profiling on your applications, but you don't have those capabilities yet into the platform. So you need to invest time to research for a tool on your that fits on your ecosystem, and think of the feedback that you receive, because developers sometimes need tools that you don't think that they are needed, and evangelize the platform every day with workshops, surveys, all the questions that you need to ask to developers, to your customers, for evangelizing the platform and making greater every day. So I don't have anything for the session. I don't know if there are some questions or something to add.
We don't have questions in the chat, but feel free or to post them after the session or go to the Slack and post them there. We have a channel called technical questions, or you can at the end and ask him. I guess that if people will watch it even today or in a month from now, I guess that they can reach out and ask some questions about it. First of all, thank you very much. It was amazing session. I think that your ability to show us how you walk us through from your ideas through the demo, but it's not only the demo, it's the architecture and the ideas behind the demo and what we are going to see, and also the demo that beside the DNS that can take some time to propagate, works amazingly. Yeah, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for being with us and sharing this data and information with the community. And that's it. If you do want other people to, do you have anything else to say?
Thanks to you, and for what you are doing for the Platformers community. I think you are doing really great, and you have a really cool agenda coming next weeks with really fantastic people with a lot of experience. So keep going, and thank you for having me here, Guy.
Thank you very much. So people, if you're watching this session and you want to join the Platformers community, you can go into our website, platformers.community.com, platformers.community or platformerscommunity.com. We really, Gian knows, but actually we do not posted yet the agenda for the rest of the queue, but we have really amazing people coming. Thank you all very much, and see you next week on the episode 2 about Canoe.
One thing,
Yeah, one more
guy.
thing. Sure.
That's a funny fact. DNS is working now.
So, do you want to show it?
Yes, let me show you, please.
Cool.
There it is. So it's working now. Maybe the API as well. This is how. Yes. So this is how demos work when you are on live. So thank you. Yes, showing this. Nothing else. Perfect. So
now we have it on the DNS. So everything works perfectly.
Exactly.
That's
Thank
amazing.
You,
see you.
Bye,
everyone.
bye.